All right, you're live.
Okay. I call to order the May 3rd meeting of the Moore County Board of Elections. Mark, are you going to do the
Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes,
I am.
see your name here. Sort of a surprise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of the members.
Bill Case, Marty Carpenter,
Richard Ashton.
Craig Kennedy.
I ask all of you, anyone have a conflict of interest relative to the nature of our agenda today?
None. No, sir. No conflict.
Okay. All right. Did you all review the minutes? We're on the internet. If I remember. I did see them. Didn't I?
Yes, I said we see. I do need to make a correction that if we can just state that Mr. McKnight is out due to an illness instead of it being said that he just out.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So if I can make that change and I can get a motion to amend the minutes to state that.
I'll move. Second.
We have a motion to amend the minutes. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The amendment passes. All right. Then we will move on to the consideration of the absentee ballots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Call that first action to do them up.
Craig, would you be kind enough to read off the numbers and pass out the ballots? We have 29 ballots altogether that we're going to review.
Okay, we'll start with, these may be in order, may not, a couple of these come in, but we'll call them off. So we'll go ahead and, civilian 290.
Okay, I don't,
That's not on. the-
yeah, I don't see
Hold on.
civilian 290.
So, these three with the letters attached. So Carrie basically stating that she did have 3 letters. Maybe 4. She had 4 letters that needed to be resent back out for corrections. Basically, the witnesses not signing completely the absentee ballot. And so there was 4 that we went and sent back to the village to correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And those are not along those that are
Correct, they're not on that list, yes, sir.
Okay, so now we'll start. All right, civilian number 1. Number 3. Number 43. Number 62. 63. 64. 85. 86. 106. 108. 111. 125. 132. 137. 140. 142. 144. 159. 160. 175. 176. 179. 181. 189. 206. 244. 261. And it looks like a military number 8. And do we have an overseas?
And do we have?
Yes, an overseas one. I'm sorry. This wasn't, it was duplicated.
Okay.
So you'll have to check that.
And so we have the overseas number 12.
For purposes of spot checking these, I guess I could move that the board, that maybe Craig, you pull out 5 at random, and the board members review those 5 and to make sure that they're properly filled out.
That's a motion.
I did make a motion.
Yeah, second, so, you've all heard the motion, all those in favor? If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. I'll start it and then we pass it over to Craig for the rest of it.
And I'm gonna go ahead and open these, just.
You want to use this?
Yes.
I like it. I thought it would be okay.
Well, I was,
They're gonna verify.
I'm gonna leave them in there so everybody looks. Okay, I'll tear them open, but I'm gonna leave them in there until everybody's inspected.
you can start from that tomorrow, and, watch the format.
Okay.
Like, okay, Mark, get them out, that's all.
Courtney, I lost my.
Let me switch you like this one. Everybody has their preferred way.
Yes, I know.
Well, before we put it in, do they want to check on the sheet? and make sure everything-
Okay.
We would check.
Yeah, this one's not working as well as the other ones did.
Can you make sure the number comes back? You want to check the machine and make sure that number is okay? And make sure nothing's in there. Right, and well. I'm tired of it now, it's like. Starting number of 5347. Just find it. What you were doing is testing some of the boxes.
Yeah, this has to be at a certain angle. If you look using
Well,
that
that's all-
angle, then you got it.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
These three.
Well, thanks for being generous.
I think I just ran through here. So these are the sample ones we're looking at right
Yes.
here, okay? Sorry, I thought this was already-
One more here.
Yeah, they did, fine.
Except when they have no open.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, 47.
It says 29.
We had 29. Okay, what's that? Ending number is 75.
I like 28. Maybe it's 76.
What about the one that was duplicated?
Duplicate.
This one right here. I was wondering about this one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah, that was.
Did you review it?
Yeah.
Did everybody review it?
I reviewed
You
it.
reviewed it.
Okay,
I wanted, but that's only one per time. Thought it'd be good to have
okay.
a Republican look at it. So
Please, woman. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
I
say it like that.
I just put it upside down over
Okay.
the line, yeah, okay.
So this is what- this is-
Just think it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually, you felt like it was correct too, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
So we're on the money.
So everything's out.
all right, we completed the review and consideration of absentee ballots.
Initial right there.
We can now take a look at the proposed budget update.
Was everyone able to look at what I sent them for budget? Did you have any questions? Mr. Casey?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
we're talking about the proposed budget?
Yes, sir. I sent a copy of what was submitted to finance for the board to look at. Did you get, I can print another
I may
copy.
have overlooked it, I'm
I,
sorry.
I, yes, I did too. Can we just get a copy?
Mhm,
Yeah.
I can get it.
Did you see it, Clint? Didn't see it.
Look like I didn't.
It was an attachment with the agenda.
Okay, it was the bottom there, I see now.
When was it sent?
She sent it out,
What was the date of the email?
May,
Second at 1 o'clock.
the second.
Yeah, I thought.
That's yesterday. Okay.
Ah. Okay. I do have a copy of it, I'm sorry.
I see it was at the bottom, somehow I missed that.
I did too.
That's
I
fine.
didn't go down far enough.
If y'all want to, since,
Do you wanna have an opportunity to look at it?
yeah, I was
another
gonna say
time?
we could just,
Do it at your next
table
meeting?
this and put it on the next agenda to discuss.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's probably a good idea. Bill and I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Did you want to do that?
No, I'd like you, I didn't scroll down far enough.
No,
I opened up some of the attachments, but that wasn't an attachment, that was a thing at the bottom, and I have a tendency not to go down all the way. But this includes, our projected new hire for 2023.
No, not yet, because, that's a different process. If it does get approved, then it will change.
So it won't be, it'll be easy to do.
Yeah.
Same thing with if we start looking at machines.
Correct. It would be a budget amendment.
Just as a help in reviewing this, just one or two questions come to mind. Looking at this first line, the salaries, and there's, say it says revised budget of 209,000 and some. 2022 actual says 167,000 and some. I'm a little confused on that in the sense that that would seem to be, I mean, this seems to be totaling as of what's happened so far in the year, but that would, if that's true, you would expect the salaries to be a lesser amount since we're not even halfway through the year.
But the county just gave the employees a raise, so, and this, so when you're looking at the 22 revised budget,
I'm
remember,
looking at actual, the 2022 actual, which I
that's
assume
how
is,
much we've spent so far as county our salary.
well, that's my point, is I'm surprised it is as high as it is, given the fact that's approaching the 2022 total.
Yeah, we're a third of the way through the year, should have been about 90,000.
See, the budget year is gonna end June 30th, so you've only got another
Yes.
60
Okay.
days, so.
Got
it's
you.
not a
Yes,
calendar year.
yes,
Thank you.
Fiscal year.
Fiscal year.
yeah, I was thinking, full, yeah, needed to show FY, yeah.
Well, okay, if that's true then, that,
We're
this is
under.
interesting, because we're only like half of what was budgeted. How does that work?
Not half, we're almost there when you figure you've got May pay and all of June to pay. We'll be right at the budget.
Do you think so?
Yes.
And then when everyone has had changes, because Amy had a pay increase because she went from one position to
Yeah.
another, so
Okay,
that's the difference.
so these are the two very expensive months, which I guess you would expect May would be. I don't know about June so much, but. Okay.
It's a good question.
Yeah, because we'll start hitting the overtime here very soon.
So did you want to table it for next meeting so you have a better chance to look at it?
Sounds like.
Yes,
What action is required of us on this, if any?
well, this is just for information, yeah. So
the
we
best-
just, we can just put it as an item on, for the next, meeting.
I think the real issue is just making sure we get a chance to look at it. I mean, it's your budget. I mean, we still have some responsibility for it, but we just need to know what's going on. So if somebody asks us a question, we can answer it.
Well, you know, that's an interesting point, because I can't recall having passed it, when we passed the budget. Is it totally, usually just been the director's call, or do we actually take action to pass the budget?
Richard, do you remember? I'm newbie, so.
I don't recall how we did that.
Yeah, it really goes to the director's job to submit the budget to the county finance office, and actually the commissioners are the one that are gonna pass the budget. So,
Well, we're kind of we're an oversight role,
We're more than an oversight, but we do have some statutory
but I mean,
requirements.
on the budget, I think, yeah.
Well, I don't recall anything specific in the statute that tells us what our responsibility is specifically to the budget. You do?
I don't know what the statute says about that. Nor do I recall right offhand what we may have delegated to the director, provided we do have some responsibility. Yeah,
Well, I didn't see anything on the budget as responsibility, but we need to be aware. I mean, I think that's part of our job, is to be aware.
and if, say we needed machines, and the county commissioners were just like, no, we're not gonna give you the money, then we would probably have to really.
well, I think it is, whatever our ultimate authority to pass, or I still think it's wise if we're going through this, because we may be asked, you know, what is this all for? And
Mhm.
I think this is useful.
Well, say we found an item in this budget that we think is inappropriate in terms of the amount, or maybe even the account. Then I think we have a responsibility to act accordingly, to make our concerns known and to take action in those situations. So we do have, as Marty says, oversight, but probably even a little bit more authority than just oversight for specific situations that we see problematic in us carrying out our role as a board.
Right.
For the Board of Elections.
So
So it's amorphous.
I have one other question about, is this county manager 2023? Does the county manager make their own prognosis of what or recommendation as to the budget?
They can, so they can actually look at what we requested, and they can either cut, especially if we're in a tight fiscal year, they can either cut back on certain areas of our budget, or they can add to it.
Well, it sounds like they've already done it for 2023.
No, this is just projected, and the reason why the numbers are different, because in 2023, starting from July, you just have your November, your November general election, and then in June, from January to June of 2023, you don't have anything, because the municipal falls in the next budget year.
But
So we don't require as much money in that year, because we're not doing as much. So each year, we make the determination how much we're gonna need.
But I guess my question is, these numbers as to 2023 are coming from someplace. You're saying the county manager has not made those estimates yet, or is it just an estimate
No,
of
this
what
is
it'll
what
estimate
this is what we submitted in. These are our recommendations for
to
2020.
the county manager?
Yes,
All right. And you've already indicated, I think, in the last meeting that you will be updating this to reflect the new position.
yes, if we get the new position,
And if we end up doing new machines.
correct.
Now, when you submit your proposals, do you put in a list of assumptions relative to each account, or
Yes,
whatever there's?
because it's you just have to give like some type of explanation. So when it comes to like the municipal election, we put down how many poll workers we're going to need, and how many chief judge or assistant judges, so they can kind of get a better breakdown of why we put that type of money in that line.
Speaking of poll workers, how have we been doing here for the one stop? Everybody's showing up. We had to call people in because people didn't show.
No, we actually have too many.
one lady was nice enough to go home. It depends, every day's been different. Usually when you start off with one stop, it's always slow. Yesterday, I think they did their biggest amount, they had at least 200 at the agriculture building, and I forgot how much they had at the rec center. So it usually spikes now that everybody's kind of aware. So then everybody, both sides have been staffed very well.
So, what sort of decisions on this budget? Just, do we want to revisit it next week?
Yeah, I guess so, but I guess the question I would have is, I mean, these are good numbers to reflect on. I guess I would, and they probably match up in large part with the previous year. I think I'm gonna read them and just see if there are numbers that are different in kind and ask why the next week.
And the previous budgets are all listed on the website, so if you want to go back and review it, it's listed on the website.
Is there, does the county website have a definition like longevity? What does longevity mean?
Basically, how long you've been here, they kind of give like a bonus for the employer.
Okay,
And it's spelled
And then
out in the
wellness.
policies. So you know, depending on the number of years. So it's all in our employee handbook.
and then wellness is,
We have the doctors that we can go to.
okay,
and not have to do anything out of pocket expense.
I have one other question about the way that the table is set up. When it says 2021 actual, is that a calendar year or is that a fiscal year?
It's always fiscal year.
through June 30th.
So right now, you're looking at the 2021-22 budget. So 2021 is what we asked for, but 22 is actually what we received.
And somebody just pointed out the longevity thing. Is that seems to be the one difference between the original and the revised budget as it stands now, right?
Yeah, because you have
We're all kind of new.
everyone's new. Prior to us coming, when we were in that budget cycle, you had Angela, you had everyone else, so the longevity would hit with them, but it still keeps in the budget even though they retire. So then they will remodify it once we get into the new budget. Because nobody's about to hit 5 years or 10 years or however the longevity is set up.
Further comments, anyone? New business. Early voting site updates.
So, most of the board isn't aware, except for Mr. Carpenter, we did have one incident that took place at the Aberdeen Rec Center, and it was just a candidate, getting into a little squabble, but me and Amber Reed did go down there, we made sure that the, campaigners knew what their responsibilities are and were. We also were gonna put another letter out to all the candidates so that they know what their responsibilities are and were. As far as being within their designated area, handing out campaign information. As far as, if they're having an issue with the little sample ballots that's been handed out, but as long as they have their disclosure, defining statement that it is not from the Board of Elections office, it is fine. You know what, and I think that was what the issue really kind of boiled down to. The police was called, but it wasn't called by any of our people. It was from the people that were outside and everything. There was no report or anything of that nature, but everything after that incident calmed down. We haven't had an issue since that time.
No, and the staff did everything they were supposed to do, the poll workers, it was a, like I say, kind of an internal issue there. Candidates, getting upset over things.
But I was appreciative that Mr. Carter did go out and kind of check on some things as well, so that way, not only the staff's presence, but the board members' presence, they're aware that we are checking on everything that takes place in the center.
That's good. Thank you. It was interesting. I'm still learning.
Any other?
No, sir, that was it.
All right, any new business? If there's no new business, we've completed our agenda for today.
I'll second.
We have a motion to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Our stage manager.